It was just past midnight when we arrived at the old Blackwood Memorial Hospital. The building stood alone at the edge of town, surrounded by dead trees and thick fog that never seemed to lift. The locals say it was shut down after a series of unexplained deaths in the late 1970s. Official reports blamed faulty wiring and medical malpractice. But that's not why people are afraid of this place. They say something never left. The iron gates were already open when we got there. That should have been our first warning. The wind howled softly as we stepped inside. The air was heavy, thick, almost difficult to breathe. Dust floated in the beam of our flashlights, dancing like tiny spirits in the dark. The doors slammed shut behind us. We froze. There was no wind strong enough to do that. We tried the handle. It wouldn't move. That's when we heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Dragging across the floor above us. There shouldn't have been anyone inside. We called out. No answer. Just silence. Then a faint whisper. Not from upstairs. Not from down the hall. But right behind us. Leave. The voice was raspy, dry, like something that hadn't spoken in decades.
Artlist.io.
We turned around. Nothing. Just a long corridor lined with broken wheelchairs and peeling paint. The lights above us flickered once, twice, then turned on. Every single one of them. At the same time, the hallway stretched farther than it should have. Longer than what we saw from outside. That's when the temperature dropped. Our breath became visible. And at the end of the hallway, a figure appeared. Tall, thin, standing unnaturally still, its head tilted slightly to one side, watching us. We couldn't see its face, only darkness where its features should have been. One of us whispered, "Do you see that?" Before anyone could answer, the lights exploded. Glass shattered everywhere. Darkness swallowed us whole. And in that darkness, something moved. Fast. Too fast. A hand grabbed my shoulder. Ice cold. I spun around. No one was there, but I could feel it. Something was circling us, breathing, listening, waiting. Then the emergency room doors at the end of the hall slowly creaked open. We didn't want to go in, but something pulled us forward. Not physically, mentally, like a pressure in our heads. Inside the emergency room, the air smelled metallic, like rust or dried blood. The hospital beds began She vanished. The lights flickered again, and suddenly we weren't alone. Figures filled the room. Patients, doctors, all standing silently, their heads lowered, their bodies twisted unnaturally. We couldn't move. Our legs felt frozen. Then every head in the room slid upward at the exact same time. And they all looked at us, their mouths open, and a single scream came out. Not many. One. Uniform. Deafening. The windows shattered inward. The doors slammed shut again. And the walls began to bleed. Dark liquid pouring down in thick streams. One of us ran for the exit. He didn't make it far. Something grabbed him in the darkness. We heard him screaming, begging, then silence. Absolute silence. We were down to two. The elevator at the end of the corridor suddenly dinged. Impossible. There was no power. The doors slid open slowly. Inside was the same tall figure from the hallway. This time closer, we could see its face, or what used to be one. Its skin stretched tightly over bone, its eyes hollow, endless, its jaw unhinged slowly, and from inside its mouth came the same whisper.
Window is rattling again.
Join us. The lights died again, and when they came back on, we were standing outside, in the parking lot, the hospital behind us, completely dark, completely silent. The gates closed, locked with chains, as if they had never been opened. We checked the time. It was 12:03 a.m. We had been inside for 3 hours, but only 3 minutes had passed. We thought it was over. We were wrong. That night, when I reviewed the footage, we saw something we hadn't noticed before. In every frame, in every reflection, in every dark corner, the tall figure standing behind us, closer each time. In the final frame, it was right behind me, smiling, and just before the camera cut to black, it whispered, "We're not done." Since that night, I haven't slept, because every time I close my eyes, I see that hallway, those black eyes, that smile, and sometimes my room goes completely silent. Footsteps, slow, heavy, dragging across the floor, getting closer and closer. If you ever find yourself near Blackwood Memorial Hospital,